Oh man, we that couldn't have happened in our youth because you would have been peer pressured out of that so fast.
For Peppa Pig?
Yeah. Oh no, you couldn't. There
Peer
were
pressure?
age groups where you got peer pressured out of watching kid stuff.
I did not.
I remember that.
What did I quit watching because of peer pressure?
Well, I don't know about you specifically.
Like there's
I
a
was
time
watching
where like Sesame Street's gonna leave your life, and the
Yeah.
really childish shit.
But it wasn't because of peer pressure. It was because it's now not cool. Like it's just not entertaining anymore.
Yeah.
But that's not peer pressure. That's. It's
I
not
don't
all my
remember.
friends looking around me and going, "You watch that?"
I remember getting peer pressured out of watching cartoons when I was in high school and stuff.
I didn't. See, I kept watching.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you didn't. Okay, so I'm not saying that your crowd didn't like protect you, or that you didn't have some of that stuff, or you just didn't care.
I did not care.
But generally speaking, man, like you'd get walked out of like watching like Pound Puppies and shit after a while, and
Pound Puppies. Was that even a show?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wore a fanny pack to high
Yeah,
school.
you wore a fanny pack.
but
all the
Will,
way
this
through
is
high
the
school.
thing: is you are not the rule.
I am not the rule, but
No.
that's why I'm saying I would not have gotten peer pressured out of watching my show.
No, you would not have.
Not me.
I got peer pressured out of watching shows.
But many people did.
Yeah. It's like, you watch what? You know?
Yeah.
And I would be like, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, but that was you, man. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Hey, I'm Jeffrey.
What are we doing, Jeffrey?
We are doing our weekly little podcast here, and we introduced it by talking about, I don't know, I almost think we presented it in a positive way, that kind of like that forced maturity thing of it's time to stop watching that weird pig with the eyes on, two eyes on one side of the head.
I never watched the show, so I never got into it.
If you're into animation, that show is
just
excruciating.
broken.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
excruciating.
it's like they all look like that one fucked up fish that
And the daddy
A flounder, whatever it is on the ground.
like so lazy design and animation that you put both eyes on the same side of the head because you are so lazy, so cheap.
Well, I was Livy got a book for The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh,
and there's one part where Jack's head is tilted a certain way, and only half the mouth is open, and it's supposed to do it so you can like see that the mouth is opening. You know, like how people would draw it where it's side and you can it does the curve and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, that's just a technique to show that the mouth is open. She's like, no, half his mouth is broken. She's like, why would they do that to him? I'm like, no, he's talking.
Yeah, he's talking. Yeah.
So we're working on the drawing technique still.
that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. And I guess here's my question: how old were you before you started to really appreciate the quality of animation versus like when you realized that something looked cheap?
I think I figured that out as a kid.
Did you?
Well, I used to watch Hanna-Barbera cartoons nonstop.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it'd be
that's
like,
true, yeah.
yeah, it's just this guy running with the same thing in the background. It's just it's Snaggletooth this time.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
Now
many?
it's Captain Caveman, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Different guy, but yeah.
I don't know. I guess yeah, because it's funny when you say that because the first one that comes to mind for me every time is Scooby Doo. So
Yeah, I really liked Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, though. It took me a while to, like, kind of look at that one and say, yeah, it's kind of shitty. So,
well, that was the first. It's not that I didn't, that I disliked it inherently at first. Eventually, we talked about this was not just when every episode you watch, you're like, yo, man, you guys start with 95% of the same material,
yeah.
right?
No, it's paint by numbers.
And then you realize that the scripts were also
Paint
that.
by numbers, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess at that time, Scooby-Doo was just what you like suffered through to watch Grape Ape.
I don't know. I always liked Scooby-Doo, man. I was not of the same opinion.
But what was wrong with the artwork?
Well, okay, so they animated one walk cycle.
So it's just the lack of
There was, yeah.
of diverse artwork. Like, it wasn't the quality of it. It was just that it was rerun.
There's that. I mean, there are certain like shortchanging things that they would also do, which made it look incredibly dull, right? Because yes, you're adhering to that one walk cycle, so everybody's walking to the side, right? The Mystery Machine always drove exclusively left and right.
Yes.
I never saw it come back and forward, right? I never saw them, like, I never saw anything
Oh,
at...
maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
I'm trying to think of it now.
but you gotta. They
Most of
did
the time,
it more
yeah,
in
and
the
it had the
newer
same like
one.
bounce cycle.
But yeah,
yeah.
that,
And it's so lazy that the actual backgrounds would recycle after just one pass, right?
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
do remember that. Yeah, whereas like there's the bookshelf again, there's the bookshelf, so while they're running away. But everybody kind of did that.
but like the Peppa Pig thing that you say is so broken artistically. What was that of our generation?
Of,
A Peppa Pig of our generation?
oh boy.
That was so bad to look at.
I think Peppa Pig is very carefully engineered for a specific demographic that was not served by cartoons when we were growing up. So I can't think of any like
That
3 to
was just
5-year-olds.
That bad.
Huh?
That was just that bad.
I'm not
to
saying
look
it's
at.
bad. So
Well,
you know,
it is. It's the same kind of like, you like wobble this way, and then because you're not animating, the face just sort of like melts this way.
Right.
That same kind of stupid shit.
Was Curious George like that?
No, Curious George was mostly stills.
That's what I was trying to
yeah,
think.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it
It was sketches.
Yeah. So it was stills. Which is fine. I mean, in its own. Wait. There was a show way back when. I only saw it a few times. I can't remember what it is, but that was so cheesy because what they would do is when the characters would talk, they would record like human lips actually saying the words.
Are you talking about the mice for the Quiznos?
Yeah, this is.
It would look like that.
This
yeah,
was when we were older, man. So.
Oh no! That wasn't when we were older.
Oh, okay.
This was a
Quiznos
show from
commercial.
like the '60s.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would just put like the still like single frame of a character up, but then they would put the human lips in because they were talking.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think I watched it. Yeah, I don't think I can remember a
yeah,
show that
this
like,
is-
was. 'Cause there wasn't many. Like, I guess there just wasn't as many options, so they all had to
Yeah.
at least fit the mold a little bit.
Well, I mean, and like everything that Scooby-Doo did wrong, the Flintstones did wrong 10, 20 years before.
And longer.
And
Yeah.
longer. You know? Yeah, same thing with the Jetsons. I mean, you never see them walk, straight towards the camera.
They don't even have a model for it. I
No,
don't
they
think.
didn't have a
like
model
the
for
sheep.
it.
Yeah, and
Man, that's mind blowing. Like, oh,
Winnie
Winnie the Pooh ever walked towards you?
the Pooh would walk towards behind whatever
did.
because that was like under Buena Vista with Disney back in the day.
Yeah,
And
that
those
was,
dudes were
Gotcha.
not going to fuck around.
and that wasn't a TV show either.
Well, the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was a TV show.
Yeah, but that was much, much later.
Oh, considerably, yeah.
And then they had the one with the stuffed, the guys
Which
in
was
costumes.
crazy.
which
That
was
doesn't
crazy.
count. That was on a Disney Channel show called The
The
Lunchbox.
lunchbox. You're right. It was called
Yeah.
Pooh Corner. Yeah.
Correct.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Same voices, but yeah, it was.
It wasn't the same voices.
Yeah, you know what?
About that. I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, whenever it was on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I'm trying to remember
Because
because
Piglet had his little Jim Henson sticks on his arms.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I would find it way more endearing now than I would have then.
I guarantee you it's on there on the YouTube somewhere.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because I mean that's the same time when they were doing like Fraggle Rock and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. And
That wasn't Disney, though, was it?
nope, that was on HBO.
That's right. That one was actually Jim Henson. If I'm
Yeah,
not
sure
mistaken.
was.
Yeah, or his studio. It might have been after he died. So
Probably.
it was pretty close. It was. He died pretty young, man. Then his brother did it for the next like
Did
40
he?
fucking years.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Where do you stand with the Muppets versus the Muppet Babies?
I always liked Muppet Babies.
I did too.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The actual Muppets, there were like 2 good movies. Yeah, but then I never understood why people found Miss Piggy to be funny.
I
So,
didn't
yeah.
either. Or like
Thank you,
empowering
yeah.
the women, like it's
I don't think she was supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
She
she's-
was just supposed to be a bitch. So,
Yeah.
She's like the first bossy that they banned. And you're like,
Yeah.
don't tell your daughters to be like this. Like boys won't like you.
No, I think she was definitely designed as a caricature. So, but
that was like the only woman in like their whole show. For
oh
like,
no, they
the-
had tons of them. man.
Skeeter. I mean,
Well, they had Skeeter, and then
Scooter
they
and
had
Skeeter.
Scooter and Skeeter, and then who
Uh,
was
Nice.
the Rock Chick Man?
that's Janice.
Yes, thank you.
she did not make it into Muppet Babies.
No,
Oh no, none of
she
those
didn't.
guys did. The
No.
only one I did was Animal. So
Yep.
from the band.
Yeah, it was the other one. It's well, no, that's not true. Rolf was there.
Oh, that's right.
The
Rolf
dog.
was there.
He was
Yeah,
playing the piano. But
Rolf.
that other like hippie looking dude, I can't remember
he was
his
that.
name.
Oh yeah, Doctor. The guy
Yeah.
with the gold teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, he was not in Muppet Babies. Hey, children.
I think he was loosely associated with drugs.
Really?
They have new Muppet Babies that I haven't seen in years.
Oh,
but
really?
What?
They
Really?
introduced a girl penguin into it.
Okay.
That doesn't seem too off the. Are they actual like? Are they doing it as puppets or is it a cartoon?
No, it was a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Are they using all of the old like Star Wars and Indiana Jones clips and stuff like they used to?
No. They would have the imagination stuff, but it never really tied into actual movie kind of
Oh,
things
that's
that much.
right. That was always part of his.
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Kermit was straight up Indiana Jones.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they did quite a few
Star
Star
They
Wars.
did a lot of
Wars.
Star Wars
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
In fact, that might actually explain why I haven't seen it rerun like anywhere. That could be a rights thing too.
Well, I'd imagine that Disney owns it.
Disney does.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
It's on Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright. The original.
Oh,
I
you know,
That's what I'm saying is
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure Disney owns that.
They
So-
bought everything.
yeah, that sucks. The more that,
Well,
that
Muppet Babies belonged to Lucasfilm, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So
well,
So then it's Disney.
it did.
well, wait a second. He didn't own the Muppets, did he?
No,
But the Muppet Babies would have to be an extension of that.
it's
yeah?
no. There was like several projects that he had that were kind of one-offs. Muppet Babies was one of them, and then like The Land Before Time was another one. These just
No,
things.
well,
that
that
just
was
don't-
Amblin, yeah.
Yeah, but they just don't fit in his normal repertoire of shit that he did. You know.
Yeah, but that was Spielberg's show.
Right, but yeah, but Lucasfilm owned that. I thought. What? Land Before Time?
No, because that was all done via
Are you sure?
Amblin. Yeah.
Oh, well, who owns Amblin then?
I don't know who owns it now.
Probably
They-
Lucasfilm.
It would.
USA
look,
owns it all.
look, it's probably scooped up under that. You know, actually, I'll bet you that got rolled into like DreamWorks.
Oh yeah, it might have.
I'll bet you it did. Because
Yeah,
there
okay,
was
there you go.
like you're talking about all the things that go under the Land Before Time, Fievel,
Yep.
and
I think you can see that on Disney Plus.
okay. Well, then those.
I don't know.
I guarantee
I
you,
haven't-
all,
I
all
haven't
that
tried
DreamWorks
looking.
shit's gonna be owned by Lucasfilm. by
Yeah, at
now.
this point, yeah.
Or I mean by Disney. Yeah, no.
I haven't checked to see if American Tail's on there.
You should, because
Yeah,
I watched
kinda
that a
curious.
few years ago. My God,
It's
did I still love
it's
that.
still good.
Yeah. I was like, I was trying to see if there was more to it than I thought. It's about the same, but I think it was, I didn't get it the other, when I was younger. I'm like, oh, those are Jews.
The mice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh,
I was like 6.
I don't think I know right now. It's
Yeah.
been a long time since I've seen it.
I thought they were from Poland.
Well, like Russia.
Oh, okay. I thought they said something.
Yeah, if I recall, the
They were Russia.
yeah, they were from
Yeah.
It was
Russia.
from Russia. Okay.
And then they got chased. I think it was actually the Russian Revolution.
The Cossacks. That's
Yes,
right. Yeah.
I
This is
think
what they were
that's
doing
what.
when there are no cats in
America, yeah.
They go back and they're telling their story. And they go back and they got the accents going and everything real strong there.
And then yeah, it's just when they get here that they meet up with some Guido mice, like Tony and.
Fredo.
Trying to remember the girl's name. Yeah, I guarantee you he was named Anthony.
Yeah.
That's where they came up with the whole cast of Sopranos. We're gonna just take all these names.
Fucking New Jersey, man.
Yeah, he has Polly Walnuts, huh?
Like you're directly naming him. Man. That's,
Yeah, exactly.
you're just going for it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, and I know that a bunch of those. So what I can't remember is a lot of those were like Bluth works later on, because like Land Before Time, 100% is. Yeah, and like Secret of Nim and the other companies that were wrapped up in that, like that. I know that Fox was involved at one point because they hit a huge hit with Anastasia, and
I would have forgot that that's Fox.
yeah, same was All Dogs Go to Heaven. That movie was huge.
That movie was huge.
That's not on Disney?
That is not a Disney movie.
Huh.
No.
Not yet.
Look, okay, everything that I've just said is probably
The Blob
property of like
is, you know.
fucking. Yeah.
It's gonna suck it right through the sink, man.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I seem to recall these things getting scooped up by Fox, and Fox got scooped up by Disney. So by proxy,
Yeah.
the bacteria over there has consumed it all. So
Now we get a smiling, happy Daredevil.
you want to go off on that, Will? You're certainly welcome to. You're certainly welcome to.
He was fine. He just was really happy, and it was bright, sunshiny, and they had Daredevil do the walk of shame.
What, from Game of Thrones?
No, Daredevil, like, he's a Marvel character.
Yeah, I know.
But no, that walk of shame. No,
They
no,
make him walk naked through the
no, the walk
Well,
of
that's-
shame
that's-
that people do for staying over the night. You have to leave the house in the morning. You've never heard of the walk of shame?
No. That must be stupid.
Oh,
No, he's not stupid. I mean,
it's
What do you mean the walk of shame? Where
Where
they stay over at somebody's
yeah,
house?
and now you
Well,
have
a
to
girl's
leave.
house.
Yes, and you have to leave in the morning, and everyone sees you. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah, they're out there getting their papers,
Like,
drinking their coffee, and
yeah,
giving you the side eye. Yeah, got it.
yeah. So they had him do it in his costume, just walking down the street. Like didn't even put his shoes on. He's just like carrying his shoes and walking down the street and says like hello to somebody. I'm like, wow, this
What's
is
the point behind
that? Because they're trying to make it funny.
Oh, man, trying to make things funny never works. Yeah.
you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the character can't already have a history of like
Well, did they
almost
kind of
no
pull that
humor,
up? Yeah.
dark humor.
Well, you get those. It's fine sometimes where that character is like that, and then after a long time they finally make a joke, and that is the joke.
But it can't be you just went to this different station and now we're gonna
Right.
make you a funny guy.
Right. And like when you get in fights, you have to throw around like jokes.
Right, right.
Like for example, okay, if you were to say watch Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever right now, right? It would be
That would be funny.
it would be near unrecognizable to
I don't think it even ever shows on TV.
not really, no.
That's one where the Batman Batmobile had the wash machine in it. Right?
It most certainly did. Yes, Ben. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
remember this. Yeah.
And that's the one that had the big fin.
The big fin.
The big
Oh,
fin
yeah,
in the
yeah,
back.
Big fin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mono rocket.
Uh-huh.
They just got every actor they could and just threw it all in there.
Well, at the time, that was the height of comic book movies.
Yeah.
They did a good job of killing them off for like 4 or 5 years.
Well, I mean, they got one more bite at that apple, and that's where it got really bad.
Which one was after it?
That was Batman and Robin. That's the one with Arnold
that's-
Schwarzenegger.
Wait a minute.
No, I thought that was.
No, Batman Forever was Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones
Oh, you're
as
right.
Two-Face.
Yeah, you're right. The last one was Arnold Schwarzenegger
And Uma Thurman and
Alicia
Alicia
Silverstone.
Silverstone. Yes.
Silverstone. Yeah.
Who's
and
Rob-
George Clooney.
Chris.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell. And yeah, and that's like that last one where they're like joking about the Bat credit card and all this shit.
A little
God,
bit,
I have not watched. I don't think I'll ever watch that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you turn around and assholes are like, well, it's still Batman, isn't it? And that's kind of what you're doing with Daredevil, right? It's still Daredevil, right?
You show up for your team, man.
I watched it, so I guess I'm still there. But
Well, okay, so I gotta. What
are
is
you
it
gonna
gonna
watch
take to
the
get
new
you
one?
out?
Are you gonna watch the Wakanda Forever?
I don't know, man. Why?
I don't know because I want to see if you want to go.
All right, well, so
There's another Black Panther movie.
with no Black Panther because he
He
died.
died, yeah.
Right.
But there's a new Black Panther.
Cool.
It'll be the girl.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I think so.
That's supposed to be it,
Think
but they're pissed at her too.
What'd she say? Did she vote for Trump?
She didn't vote for Trump, but she.
So she just let him back on Twitter?
If you want to talk about that, we'll talk about that. But, no, the thing about her was she was anti-vax,
Oh.
and the fucking Twitter
She
wanted
was?
to ban her. Yeah,
Oh.
Letitia James, they wanted to ban her.
I thought it was the Wasp.
Oh, they got her too, but
Oh.
she wasn't as animated about it. And fucking Star-Lord himself. I mean, they wanted to get rid of him because he's Christian.
Right, yeah. He actually believes in the afterlife. Weird.
Yeah.
That's why they want to get rid of him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because
He's
like,
part of a big evangelical church out there in L.A. That
Well,
like,
not-
half the fucking town is part of, but...
well, he got it from wherever he came. He's like in their branch of it now. But wherever he grew up in the Midwest or whatever,
Yeah.
that was what he is, and so he's like part of that. And so people didn't like that. And this is why, like, after yesterday when Elon Musk fired everybody, starting at the top.
Did he
down-
actually do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw him carry in a kitchen sink.
Yeah, that was
I didn't
stupid.
get the joke.
Well, the joke is let that sink in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm too stupid to get that. I mean,
Well, sink is the literal object.
I understand the joke. I just don't see any humor in it.
I thought maybe
I
just
get it. I'm
changing
not
everything,
laughing.
Yeah, okay.
including the kitchen sink.
That would have been a better joke. But the joke was
That would have been a much better joke.
that's what I thought it was. And then I saw the byline and I'm like, okay, got it. I'm not laughing, but I got it. But yeah, it's basically the way of like, yes, this is really happening.
Yeah,
So
I
it
don't
act-
make
he
connections.
actually
We'll try it again.
They just
do it
merge it,
together.
yeah.
What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about Musk's joke, and so yeah, the thing was he went in straight at the top and immediately fired the CEO.
I thought he hasn't officially bought it yet.
Yep, it's finalized.
Is it finalized?
Yep.
Oh,
Finalized and fired
for
those guys. already.
44 billion or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
And so he canned the top guys. He canned the girl that blocked Trump. She
It was one person.
yep, she's the one that made the ultimate call.
Oh, okay.
Yep, because she's the one that's basically it's like it's not like content, but it's like head of like moderation and shit like that. So it went all the way to her, and then she went out there and defended it, right? And so, yeah, he said a whole bunch of. That's the joke. Is like this. The accounts have been set free, right?
So Trump is back?
No.
He hasn't chosen to come back.
Well, that's the thing is,
I don't think he's good.
it looks like he's gonna stay with his shit,
Yeah.
which is fine. But
Trump steaks are the best steaks.
right. I mean, unless he can find a way where it's like, I've got an idea. He had a big company in the West, I had a big company in the East, and now we have a very big company. Right? So maybe if there's something like that going on, but I don't know. But yeah, he canned those dudes immediately.
I hear True Social is just an absolute shit show. So
I've been on it.
have you?
I don't really feel like messing with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I got on Parlor for a little bit.
Oh, how's that?
Useless.
Why?
It's boring.
Oh.
Yeah. Any hive mind is boring. You need
Yeah, that's true.
people there to rile up.
Yeah.
I heard the crazy lady in Michigan that's running against Gretchen.
What do you mean you heard her?
Like you mentioned that the person that's running for the Republican part of it was.
Oh yeah, I've
insane.
heard she's a lunatic.
Well, she said something that it's been 100-year. Like the Democrats were using COVID and the George Floyd event to finally enact balance for losing the Civil War. Like it's been planned to. I can't even speak exactly how this plan was, but I was just like, wait, what?
I hear that the lady running for governor here isn't much better. So, but I don't really know much about her.
I just figured Polis is gonna.
He's gonna murder her.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I didn't even listen to anything.
Yeah. So, but no, that's what they did here too. It was one of those things was like Polis was going to be so hard to take out that in the Republican primary they put up a lunatic. So,
Don't waste your good fodder.
well, the people who would be like, no, it's not like planned or anything like that. But when you're running a primary like that, all right, the only people who are actually going to show up are the people who are so fucking dedicated. You know, because everybody else is like, oh, Paul's going to win. You know what I'm going to do on Friday? Not that. You know?
We vote on Friday?
No, but whenever they had that. We vote,
Oh, whenever the.
what is it, a week from Tuesday?
Yeah. Okay.
I got my mail-in thing now, man.
I got my mail in. I have to decide if I'm
I
going to fill it
love
out.
mail-in ballots. So.
I would argue there's a strategy on that too with the strong side where you're saying like, all right, since we can't really win this one outright, run out somebody that's crazy that just might catch on, a long shot.
Yeah,
Or it's like.
but again, that's assuming it's planned, all right? And these are people who independently go out there and decide that they're going to run.
Well, that they have awesome ideas.
yeah, I have great ideas. So, this is my year, Jeff.
Well, at least that way you get somebody that gets to say all the crazy stuff and see if any of the
Absolutely.
ideas
If it
stick.
catches fire.
And
Yep.
you're like, okay, we're going to incorporate that. None of us had the balls to say that one out loud.
Dude, it happened on a national level. That was Donald Trump. He
Yeah.
said shit that wasn't said. And it worked out.
Yeah.
Once. I don't know.
It worked once.
Well, I mean that's the, you know, that's how gambling works. Will can tell you all about it.
Right, yeah.
$600 on the Padres.
The worst bet I ever did, basically on because it
Please.
happened before. So this was years ago. I'd done really well. I was up like $900,
All right.
doing
Awesome.
great.
Awesome.
And then so it comes up to Sunday, and I was just looking through all this stuff, and there was a player prop for Dennis Bird getting an interception. And I'm like, why in the hell are you on here? And I looked it up, and he had an interception in 6 straight games.
Oh, I remember. Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, well, no, he ain't getting one this game because it's 7 or no. And so
That's
like the
unheard of.
odds, so I bet 900 to win like $240.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, it ain't happening. And then so, I got the ticket. The first 3 minutes, it just deflects and lands right in his hands. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh man. Well, that's done. So just because it worked before, or just because it happened before.
What's the phrase in finances?
Past performance is no predictor of future returns.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
Yes. So.
Well, I have to come back to this though, right? I have to know, what is it going to take? How bad does a show have to be to actually get you to give up and say, I'm not going to watch the next one until this improves? Because you understand that's the only way product gets better, right?
I can't tell you where that point will be in Marvel.
Do you feel like you're capable of it?
I don't know. It's just so much of my DNA. I just don't know. And there's still so much promise to come. There's Fantastic Four, there's X-Men, there's all this stuff. I want to know all the stories that are going to lead up to it. So that's at least the next
Decade.
5, 6, 7, 8 years.
If it lasts that long.
So I'm in it. It's not.
Okay.
I've abandoned just about every franchise I held dear. There's not going to be a fourth Indiana Jones or a fifth one.
Well, yeah, you already drew the line at 3, didn't you?
I drew the line. There's 3, so I don't know anything about any others.
Is there anything that could make you get rid of the Yankees?
Sure, if they're having like cocaine-filled sex parties and paying off every umpire in the fucking league, yeah.
But they're winning titles.
I know that's not cool, man.
Okay.
So yeah, I ditch them. So
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, if you had, like, what was her name in Cincinnati? Like a Marge Schott kind of owner.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, if that's the new management.
I don't know if we've had shitty management for ages. Not like Monford's shitty, but just shitty to their players kind of management.
Right.
But they're all getting canned now.
Who?
Like,
Didn't they clean house?
Well, I mean, like, not the Montfort, but like shitty people. Like the person that owned the Clippers had to sell his team. Like,
yeah,
his sons has to sell his team.
Steinbrenners aren't
Donald
shitty
Sterling.
in that way.
Sterling, yes.
Yeah, so they're not shitty in that way. So
What if he was?
I don't. Well,
Once
he's
they got
dead,
him on tape.
So
Yeah.
But if his son was that way and they had
Yeah.
him on tape, yeah, I'd probably think about it.
Would really be surprised that they had. I mean, he's been around for so long.
Well, the first
dad. I mean,
the first question I would ask would be, when was this recorded?
right.
Like,
Right, yeah.
And if it's basically prior to,
Marge Schott. Like, if you have
not a
anything
bad-
after
yeah,
Marge Schott, then
the
you
Marge Schott era,
It's like, oh shit, I can't say this stuff anymore.
But if it was prior to then, I'd probably be like, does he still think that? And if there's like one off-color comment or something, like, he probably still does. If he'd actually like kept his act clean afterwards, I'm like, you know what? He grew up like the rest of us.
I can agree.
If you're going to tell me that my father, who was distinctly anti-racist, he absolutely was, didn't say that word a couple of times in his youth, given where he lived in Ohio, I would probably disagree. I didn't ask him. I didn't think it was my business. I didn't really want to know. I wasn't like, how many times did you say?
Curious, yeah.
But I can guarantee you, he or some of his friends did. I know our grandmother's racist ass did. God bless her heart. There's certain things where I could say, that's when you grew up. It's okay. Now, Donald Sterling, on the other hand, I don't know. I still wonder if it was right for them to force him to sell the team instead of just naturally letting to be able to judge the players would have been awesome. To say, like,
What, to see that no black people would go to the team anymore or something? And just.
or if they actually did. Or if they actually said,
No, your money's still good.
right, right.
I don't care that you're racist.
Exactly.
You wrote me the biggest checks. Thank you much.
curious to see how that would have played out. But they answered the question for me, and I don't.
Well, I think they're doing that to the Suns owner.
What did he do?
He
I don't
said
even know what the
he had
Suns
some
guy.
horrible. I don't even know what the quotes are, but
Is it recent?
Yeah, like it was this year.
Oh,
So yeah, it was like right before the season started that they fined him $10 million
yo, okay.
and suspended him for like attending games for a year. And then the players,
all his picks.
and then the players are like, really? Because I think it was a lot about anti-women, like just really.
Oh, it's just misogynist stuff.
But I think it was also racist stuff too. But I don't really know.
Racist and misogynist.
I
Okay,
just
got it.
don't. I mean, I know it's the big thing right now, but I just don't care. I'm like,
What, the thing with the Suns?
well, or just like that people say stuff. I'm like,
Oh.
what? You know, were they being horrible to some
Yeah.
person or something like that? All right, fine. But man, if you just happen to catch somebody saying something like
Yeah.
offhanded, I'm like,
Follow up to the other day, Weinstein's trials in California. So
Okay.
he's actually been extradited over to California to stand trial there for additional crimes.
Oh, this is just more.
This is more. He's still going back to jail.
Okay, got it. This is just bonus crime.
This is bonus crime.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for clarifying. All right, and I did some clarification for you as well. All right, we were talking about the questions of who is being beaten up in this economy.
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, you guys got fired up.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to stick to my guns.
All right. So, this is specifically what you were talking about. Okay, so the only groups that have gone up as a result of increased salaries are leisure and hospitality workers.
Okay.
They're the only ones who have come out ahead of inflation. Everybody else is losing.
Even nursing?
Leisure and hospitality workers.
about, like,
That's it.
The low end fast food people that are getting 20 something.
Well, that would be hospitality.
That's hospitality.
Yeah.
Oh, all fast food is hospitality?
Well, it just depends on how you slice the pie, but usually, like, restaurants are all considered hospitality.
Oh.
Yes, restaurants, hotels, amusement
Okay.
parks, all that
Yeah.
shit.
Gotcha. I didn't.
Yeah.
All right.
So yes, that is how that worked out. So there are some winners, as you said, but it is in with specific groups, and everybody else is losing.
Everybody
Well,
else.
but question.
What about
So-
truck drivers? Are they losing?
Right now, I'd imagine so because gas is so fucking expensive.
Okay.
So when
Oh,
you
diesel. Yeah, diesel is incredibly
Yeah.
expensive.
when you said it was like $6,800, 64, whatever it was that
Yeah.
you said, and then he said it was you're like 8.5% equals this, and then he said, but yeah, but there was still 1%, so you're going to knock off this. What about the 5% increase in wage? So would that mean that you're only now paying $3,000 more a year?
Well, no, the way that was figured, okay, is the thing that Patrick pointed out, and it's like, all right, so you're right on this. So it's basically taking the sum of all people, right? Here's what your wages would be. Here's what inflation is taking from you, essentially, right? Here's this, then divided per family.
Okay, because I know Fox throws out all the time that the average family is paying like $400 more per year because,
Well, they're
because of inflation.
losing, essentially, yeah.
But if they're making 5% more, then yeah, they're paying that much more, but they're also making that much more, so it's only a
So you're talking
smaller
about net
gap.
versus gross, yeah.
Yeah, so you might be paying that total amount more, but your actual impact is only like 2,000.
Right,
So
right.
it's not like as large as that sounds.
Well, William, take that. You can do quick mental math. Take that figure and divide it by 12.
The 6,800 or
Yeah.
the 500.
Is it fathomable to see that people are out about $500 a month? A family.
Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, it all depends on what you buy and stuff, but
Well, again, that's on average, right?
but
So
I
you're
can also
taking-
see
yeah,
that, like, based on my personal stance, like my wage increase was way higher than what inflation is.
Yes, you were.
That's what I'm saying for me, but I mean, if I also have no idea what the average family is.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I
The
don't
average
know
family?
what's the average income for a family.
Median income in the United States is
It's like
like
68,000.
No, I
right?
think it's up to 73 or 74. So that's your median, so dead middle out of the entire pack.
Okay, so 74, $500 a month.
I don't know if it's quite. I don't. It might be projected to get up to 74 next year. It might be at 63, or I mean 73.
But I'm also sure that means if you're doing $500 more a month, that's after taxes. So yeah, that definitely hurts.
Definitely.
It definitely
Yeah.
hurts. But yeah, I know that's definitely what's on most people's minds, but I don't know if a lot of, like Pat was saying, I don't know how many people actually sweat it. Like, it's annoying, but I don't know. Like, I don't know that number that you said of people that split their groceries. That seems way high.
That's not true.
I mean, I hear tons of people
Yeah.
griping about it,
You guys go ahead.
but I didn't
This
know
could
that
come up
people. I know, but yeah, I might just live in a whole different society, so I don't know.
So
people that do that.
I did some reading on that, and so the one thing that I was wrong about on that one is a lot of people do actually split their bills. So it's up to 65% of Americans have used this service within the last year. So,
Right.
For regular groceries.
but see, that's the part that's not true. It's not for groceries. So there's all this stems from the same report that was issued by Lending Tree. You've heard of Lending Tree, yeah. So there are three big items. There are three top categories that people use these things for. What are they? Give it a guess.
House or car repair.
No, you need a mortgage for that. They won't give you a credit limit that high. So
Oh.
yeah, to buy a house, no.
Well, no, just like a repair. So like a
No?
hot water heater.
Yeah, I would think that, but no, that wasn't on the list. So
Way less.
no, some people had like rolling balances of like $500 to $1,000.
A cell phone.
Yes. So
Does that count if you do it through
I
the
don't know,
store?
man. It didn't make any sense to me why that one was on there. So because I mean, I would just go to the T-Mobile store. to
Yeah,
get my
I mean,
phone.
mine's doing that already.
So I have no idea, but that was one. So people were using it to buy consumer electronics. What's the other two? There's two more.
God, I don't know.
Now these are specifically
Ammo.
okay. So, all right, here you go. All right,
Okay.
and this is specifically dealing with groups that are Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm.
Yep.
These are the
Yep.
ones that I was
Those are
talking
the
about.
ones. Yep.
Okay, so survey by the company last month. Okay, found that 61% of consumers nationally have used buy now, pay later apps for groceries, household supplies, and other staples.
Okay.
Okay. Up from 44% in November, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that it's gone,
Yeah.
that it's, almost 2/3. It was at 44%. It
Yeah.
has jumped to 61%.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know how this works. So,
So-
would you like just have like this card that you go to the grocery store and you
No,
just
it's an
pay,
app.
phone.
It's an app.
Choose your phone.
Yeah, use your phone. So
and you just like throw money onto there?
no,
or...
it's not a debit card. So it's just like a credit card. Okay. It's just avoiding the way that credit cards are traditionally structured, where how a credit card, Visa makes its money by charging you interest for your payments.
Right.
Okay. American Express makes their money by charging you interest for your payments.
and
And
the business.
so these guys just charge the business. So yeah, that's how they make their money.
Oh,
And so businesses are amenable to this because it accelerates their inventory turnover, or it allows people to purchase things that normally they wouldn't be able to purchase.
huh.
So that thing about household stuff, that's another one that's on there. So, like I don't think that it's like, because if you look at the the Lending Tree report, the amount of people who were paying for groceries on this thing last year is like less than 10% of its overall usage. So when they lump those three things like that together,
Mm-hmm.
one of those is absolutely in the category. What do you think it is? There's top three. So consumer electronics is one.
Like furniture?
Yes, furniture was
Stuff you
another
get
one.
from Aaron's?
What was Aaron's?
That like it had Mr. T commercials.
Oh yeah,
Or
maybe.
that you buy stuff on
Yeah.
consignment, whatever, and
Well,
Oh, fucking like rent to own shit.
Yeah.
it is.
yeah.
Well, that's what they call it. It's called BNPN or BNPL. Buy now, pay later. So that's what these things are. So, but the third one is the really interesting one. So, it's clothing.
huh?
That's
okay.
the top category for what people use this for. And so I actually poked into that one a little bit.
Huh.
So of the people who purchased like a lot of clothing on this thing, fully half of them are in default.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
So and here, this is for you, Jeff. So they gave,
What does that tell you?
what does it tell you?
If they're in default?
Yeah.
Well, from a lending standpoint of view, that means that they're not qualifying their candidates very well.
They don't even do any, they don't do
And
any
they do not.
qualifications.
Nope.
No. So and most people who are at default have defaults on multiple accounts.
Right.
Well, what it's
So-
like? Do you go into bankruptcy if you like?
Not yet.
There's no real rule on how this is treated.
I mean,
yet?
they could sue you and try and get the money out of you, but they just cap your spending, and so basically, but nothing, prevents you from just opening up another one with a different guy.
Oh my gosh.
There's no credit
Huh.
bureau that
Okay.
protects them all and stuff like that. There's no intercompany reporting agency. In fact, the big one, Klarna, that one's from Sweden, so, and they don't. They don't even participate in the same programs that we do. So in terms of credit checks, and
No,
stuff
they're
like that.
Swedish.
They're Swedish. Yeah.
It's credit, but it's pronounced like derpy derpy.
Need some credit? You give me credit?
Oh my god! You know what? Okay, we went on this like a long time ago, where like, you know how like a portalet is called like a Mexican space shuttle,
I've heard that.
right? So like Swedish credit, like Swedish credit is an insult.
Yeah, Swedish credit. Yeah. So, but the top three categories, clothing was number one. All right, and they gave three really interesting sets of demographics, but a fourth one was missing. Which fourth demographic was missing?
Race.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So the other three, it was like age, income, and gender. They broke it all down by like who was paying what. There was one key demographic that was missing from their report.
How convenient.
So Patrick, again, when you guys are getting down to the brass tacks of like, who needs this shit? We're not in the crowd to really say.
Right, but that's only 13% of the population now.
I understand. Okay. But again, if 61% of people are using these things,
Yeah.
right, for that kind of stuff, and yes, if you want
So
to,
you're making the inference here that they're using them because they're under financial distress. And the thing that people actually said that they were using them for was to avoid credit card fees.
well, of course.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because
Because you want to save money.
you're gonna charge it, or
Dude,
one way
not
or another.
everybody who's using this shit. In fact, only half of them are actually under that median income. So there's people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who use this shit.
Well, yes, I understand, but here's the thing: hundreds of thousands of dollars is okay. So the way these things work, all right. This is the thing: is it's not just you, because I've used it.
Is it convenient?
It's very convenient,
Okay.
right? It's a question of the way that this works is you can't be a person that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars and then jump in here and just put your sundries on it, right? Because
Sure.
or well, not your sundries, because that's the kind of thing that it would work for. Okay, when you jump in there, okay, they will give you a quick check. Like you can use this for things like Amazon and stuff, right?
Okay. That makes
Right.
sense.
So what they'll do is it pops up as a payment option. Okay,
Is it a plug-in?
no,
So if I was like, so I'd have to have like the app for this on my phone, and then like if I'm cruising Amazon, it'll populate in there.
no. What you can do
Okay.
here is you can cruise for stuff on there on the app, right? And so you can use that, and because like you said, they make their money by dealing directly with the vendors. If you go on the app, what you're going to see is special deals, right? Because there are lots of places that are willing to give substantial 15-20% discounts and stuff like that. But if you go on
You guys
Amazon,
using this?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
which
all right.
makes perfect sense. You can understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, otherwise I don't know how they would actually make any money. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So what you'll do is with some things that you go out there and buy, if you don't buy it now, okay, so if you go to buy it now, it's just going to go straight to your credit card or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But if you go to the cart and go and buy it, and it'll say, like, do you want to pay? It'll give you options.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. And so a firm will pop up on there and it'll say, do this in 4 easy payments of this,
Yeah,
this, and
I've
this.
seen that.
Oh, I've seen those too. That's what that is. Then.
That's what that is. Now, the thing is,
I thought they were going to charge my credit card 4 times.
I didn't know how that was going to work either.
it's tied into, I mean, you'll put in a card or however you want to pay for it, right? But what the reason that that's popping up is because that's basically qualifying you there to see if you can do that, right? And so when you qualify for that, okay, the first thing it does, you get kind of like a small amount, okay? They'll qualify you for like $400,
Okay.
okay? And if you continue to use it over time, they'll increase you a little bit,
Yeah.
okay? But it's not something where you can be like, well, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to avoid credit card fees. I'm going to break this $10,000 item. It doesn't work that way.
Why not?
Because that's where the risk thing comes in, is it's not a huge amount they clear you for,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's
but,
where you're talking about, like, with clothing and stuff.
yeah, but if I
'cause
was
this is
using it like if I go out every single month or something like that, and I'm going to be I guess I would use a credit card for that.
You would.
Well, yeah, and so I guess that's my other point about this is how is this any fucking different than actual credit card usage? So, other than the fact that you can't qualify for a credit card if you have shitty credit,
Yeah, and on top of that,
So-
the other thing is, like, there's like a cap on how many things you can have on there at once.
Yeah, so you can only pay down on so many items at once.
Well,
Exactly,
How are
yeah.
you doing groceries?
Well, because you go once or twice a month.
So it's not about the number of items; it's just the number of times you go.
Well, so
Oh yeah.
whenever you put stuff on there, right? So if you go to the grocery store, right, and you put it on there right now, right, you're going to have one item, and then let's say you go in 2 more weeks, okay? You make one payment now, okay? One payment on that one, and then one on this one. And so ultimately what you do is you have a revolving cycle where the last payment drops off, so you can make a new one. Last payment drops off, so you can make a new one. Because you can carry,
So-
it's like
okay.
3 purchases on there at one time.
From 3 different vendors. So if I went to King Supers, that'd be 1.
No, not 3 different vendors.
So that
Like 3
one
total
King
things.
Super shopping trip
Yes.
is one.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. So like one instance where I paid for something.
Right, right. So it's not just 3 to King Supers, 3 to Home Depot. 3
No,
to-
no. Like I went to King Supers on Saturday and I could pay that off now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Now that doesn't stop you from also going to like another one of those companies.
That's
right?
what the report said. Is a lot of people had done like 3 or 4 of them.
Absolutely, right? So that's the trick on it is, yeah, from your standpoint, all it does is it breaks it into 4 parts, okay? And you don't pay interest on it.
Right. Yeah.
But if you default, then you get charged.
Well.
You have to pay fees.
Well, yeah, but that's no different than credit card. Yeah.
No, not at all. But in terms of being a sneaky way for a $200,000 guy to get around making credit card payments, it's like, I just broke my boat into 4 payments, paid no interest. Ha!
Hey man,
Doesn't
that's
work.
what the report showed. So it said that there was guys out there who were, making 100,000 more a year who were using it, especially amongst the younger demographic. So people who are like 2 generations behind us now.
But this is what I'm
So-
saying here is like they might be doing that for like some smaller things, but not for
Right.
big stuff.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't know, but
Not for
yeah,
big
no,
stuff.
they were just based upon usage statistics. It had nothing to do with how much they were actually spending.
Right.
So yeah, no, I don't think you'd buy a boat with it. I don't think they'd let
'cause
you.
here's the thing: like if you
I
could,
thought
I
that
would.
you based upon what you guys were describing, I had no idea.
Oh, one of the other things that a lot of people are using it for is vacations. So
Yep. And that's one of the ones where if you go on the site, they'll cut you deals.
really,
Yeah.
So if I try and what if I go to United and try and book a flight? Is it on there?
You know what? I don't know if
that'd be
United
weird.
is on there, but yeah, that's sort of the whole trick on it is, yeah, and you go in there and they'll have again, remember, it's package deal type shit. So they have some kind of agreement with, I don't know, America West. Or,
Well, obviously with Amazon. So yeah.
and
So-
again, for them, like Amazon, this is a genius move because they're like, is it a product we wouldn't have sold if not for that?
Yep.
And the answer is yes.
Yeah. Is it sitting in a warehouse and would not move for another month?
Can you pay this off with a credit card?
I imagine
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, you can.
Oh my God, he's talking about like, fucking financial houses of stilts, man.
You absolutely can. And you can pay it off the next day too if you want.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if they have deals and stuff, then
Yeah, I can see why people would use it.
why
in
not?
that
Like,
case.
I'm even kind of curious now. I'm like, what kind of
I
deal?
mean, I saw that thing, but I guess I was mistaken in the fact that I thought it was just going to charge my credit card that 4 times over the next month or something.
I
It
thought
just
I thought it was Amazon credit. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was just
Amazon
them
credit's
breaking-
a separate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was them just being like, all right, buy it, and then you just pay us 4 easy installments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before they'll regulate that shit. Somebody's gonna get in trouble with that shit.
The
man. Just
question-
like credit cards.
The question here is as of right now, there's no reason to regulate it in terms of like it's not to the consumer, it's not predatory in any way.
Well, other than the fact that it encourages you to buy shit you can't afford, and we've been down that path before.
Yeah,
So,
well,
yeah.
okay. Well, number one,
That's the American way.
it's
I
not
get
like
that, but
not
that's
in,
what
like,
that's
Plays
what
language
Visa
or
is
anything
for.
like that.
It was here first.
Yeah, and they're open about their predatory part.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Because what's the term? Okay, I always use VIG. What's the one you use?
For what?
Big.
Yeah, like the bookie gets his
Cut. It's like or
juice. You said juice.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
gotta get some
So
juice.
yeah, so Visa's up front about this is our VIG.
This is our best.
juice.
Yeah, this is
Well,
our
and the
right.
rates are gonna go.
They've already gone. The credit card rates have already gone bananas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. So even
So
mine,
this is gonna get used even more.
Well,
Like
look,
to
this,
the max.
this was a little bit ago too.
Yeah, so it's gonna get.
Well, actually, this makes a lot more fucking sense now that I think about it. Because even like I've got impeccable credit, but my credit card rate's at least 18%. So now I pay mine off every single month.
Yeah, I paid
but,
mine
yeah,
off. But if I wasn't, then
But to have the
fuck yeah, I
convenience
would
Oh my
do
God.
this. Yeah.
Look, that's why I've done it. That's again, like the first time around. Look, I was a guinea pig on this like months ago, like a year ago. I was like, okay, what's the catch? And so I guess I was. So I did it.
sounds too good to be
And then-
true.
You guys stick your finger in that hole. Gets a little tug.
Yeah. So yeah, I waited around for a little while. I made my payments, but I was still kind of like, all right, so when do the Swedish police come around? But I was like, no, this is fine. And then yeah, anytime that comes up, look, if it's and that's what I realized. Like it helps them move product. It's something where like I don't want to make a credit card purchase. I shouldn't.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't even make sense. But if it's something where it's like, well, this is $400. It's way easier to do $100 a month than to drop down $4 here or buy that in credit and pay interest on it.
Yeah, it's the interest part that actually kind of intrigues me.
Do you agree that it has to be 4 months every time, or does it have different options, or
Well,
is that how?
The ones I used specifically were Affirm, and that was 4.
Okay.
And the other one was specifically named Quad Pay.
Okay,
Just it's like 4
They didn't
deal.
they didn't jump out. They're like, I know what our name is. You want to do it in 6?
We got options.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So again, but for most people, I mean, this is where they're talking about why has it gone up so much. It could be like you said. Maybe it's also convenience and service. Maybe it actually makes financial sense. Maybe this is something that, if you think about it, is kind of better than consumer credit, depending on what you're doing.
That's what you got me thinking about, man.
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny because I described it to you guys. You're like, well, this makes sense. I don't pay.
It was like, wait a minute, math?
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
It is kind of interesting. It would be really handy on Instacart. Maybe I'll buy groceries.
Well, what up?
And now you're getting a stat.
Right, yeah. Make your case for it. Yeah.
But this was
I
that.
took off my white shoes, and now I'm in the.
But yeah, okay. But it's helping you save money. And again, most people in that case, like You talked about how many people are defaulting, and especially on things like clothes.
Yeah.
Clothes is sort of a loaded situation, right? Because part of it is
very loaded. That's why I wanted to see that one specific demographic piece of data. that they
right,
withheld.
right.
Because there is a demographic in this United States that is not known for its credit history, but it is noticed for having really nice kicks from time to time. Yeah.
So what you're saying is cross-reference quad pay, cross-reference Jordans, and
I want that data. I want that data.
But again, I would argue that a lot of that probably is less on the male side.
Oh, I don't know that. Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
you saw race or gender in there, wasn't it?
Gender was in there. I didn't really look at it. It was actually...
Pretty split.
yeah, I don't think there's anything remarkable about it. The one thing that was kind of remarkable was like the income distribution was fairly evenly distributed. And so it wasn't like, oh, well, it's just people making under $40,000 a year who are using this. It's like, no, there's quite a few rich people that use it as well, or people who you'd consider to be professional or middle class.
People of wealth.
Well, that
People
makes
with means.
Well, that
Yeah,
makes sense because
sure.
those people probably have balances on the credit card.
Well,
And so if you can
Yeah.
have some of it not be on the credit card,
That's
and
where
that,
the issue
then
comes in, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
that's-
it's just smart.
that's your demographic. Yeah, he gives a shit about interest payments.
Yeah.
So, you get to the lower end of the spectrum, you don't give a shit about interest payments, you give a shit about minimum payment.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
it's
that's-
something different.
exactly, because that's the thing is what that also comes to is we live here, right?
Yeah.
And there are plenty of places where, well, 180,000 isn't enough.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It looks like it's going to be enough here for a while. Yeah.
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 Hopefully, it's stay
180, yeah, better.
Yeah, you're living pretty good here.
But look, man, like I talked to some of my students that are in like California,
Yeah.
New York, and
Totally different.
I don't ask them, but I was like,
Why?
well, it's just something that's like, your husband does what? It's like, and you guys have an apartment with 6 people in it?
Yeah.
Why?
That's all you can afford out here. Then leave. There's jobs in the rest of the country that will beg for your skills.
That was the particular one that I was Googling at the time. I said, all right, I want you to look at this. Like, look at this house. It's like, all right, really cool. It's like huge. Like, this is 6,500 square feet. It's like your children can have 2 rooms apiece. Right? And it's like, this looks awesome. It's like, yeah, and you know what? Here's how much it costs. Like $525. She's like, that's fantastic. I'm like, it's in Wyoming.
Yeah.
She's like, what's Wyoming?
What's the Wyoming?
I said, if your husband can work remotely, buy this house.
Yeah.
Because she was also beleaguering. She's like, it never snows here, and I love the snow.
This is an easy problem to fix, man. Like it's like you and I were talking about that the other day. It's like, well, maybe it was a couple weeks ago. It was like, don't bitch at me with problems that I have really easy solutions to that you're not gonna like. Like, I don't make enough. My apartment's too small. I live in San Francisco. It's like,
yeah.
fucking move. So
Well,
we
pick-
don't want to move. Oh, well, you didn't say that. So sorry, you're screwed.
Pick one of those 3 things
Yeah.
and change it.
Yeah, exactly. Pick
Yeah.
one of those 3 things and change it. So
But I won't make as much. You don't need as
you don't
much.
need, right? Yeah. So it's crazy, man. So
But your skills are fantastic, so they will sell anywhere. Just go.
Or even if you can negotiate into it and say like, hey, I got to leave the company unless I can go here. It's like, well, we're going to have to cut your pay by 25%. Like, right, but I can buy 75% more stuff.
how do you
Okay.
feel about that? Should a company be able to chop your pay if you decide to go remote?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Unless okay, so I can see the distinction where up front they say, we are hiring a remote position, this is the salary. But to take somebody and say, oh, you're going remote, you get this if you stay here, you lose this if you move to another state,
Yeah.
is absurd.
Yeah.
Should a company be allowed to post a job that says your salary is contingent upon where you live if you work remotely?
Um,
To me, no.
well,
No.
see, I'm okay with that one because you'd be agreeing to that before you put in for the
Right.
job. Yeah.
So like a company could be like, yeah, we encourage remote. And if we find people that live in Wyoming,
I think what they would
we
do,
get to pay a lot.
what I
less,
would
but
do in
you
a
get to-
situation, yeah. It's like, I think it'd be nice if you had a company that actually had like, okay, so this is the base salary. Everybody gets the base salary for this. But then depending on where you live, there's a COLA adjustment. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Okay.
So
That I can agree with.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen too many cases of that just quite yet.
Yeah, I'm sure they're adjusting to
The
what
whole
the world is and how they can and what's legal.
Yeah.
And what's legal?
Well, it's more so like what the job market is willing to put up with. So more so than
Right.
anything else right now because it's so tight. But you know, like I'm starting to see there's already a backlash in the popular business press. Like 3 months ago, it's all about like, oh, fucking quiet quitting and yada 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 and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And now it's all basically is like, well, there's some companies out there that are going to fight this remote thing. And there's other companies that are just going to kind of like
Embrace it.
embrace it.
Yeah.
But then there's third companies who are just like, well, just wait for the turnover to actually work itself through. Then we can do whatever we want again.
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, one manager per every 10 employees.
Yeah.
What is that breakdown? Is that a unit? Is it a platoon? Is it a?
It's a section. You know,
Trying to remember.
It's a squadron.
It's a squad?
It's a flight. I don't know.
Well, okay, so like, when does it reach a brigade?
Like 1,800 guys. Yeah.
For one manager?
A brigade? So I don't know. I mean, are you being serious about military unit sizes here? I don't remember.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to remember. Is like, what's the? I'm trying to remember.
So a
the breakdown.
platoon is like 80 guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of my manager that had a platoon.
One manager for 80 people?
Well, yeah, because it just
Yeah.
breaks into like two places. Like if you're like a regional.
But don't they usually have like sub managers?
Sometimes, but
Well, yeah.
do you need those? That's the real question. So
Well, you have your sub manager, and that would be like your
it's a-
squad, right?
yeah, that's a lieutenant. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in
All
charge,
right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
okay.
see what you're saying.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've like when I worked for the railroad, there was like one manager for every 150 guys. So,
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
So that's like 3 platoons.
Yeah, it was like a battalion. You know,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
a
What is a
company.
reach?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
company. Okay, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and that was actually really nice. So, you know, then I've worked with other companies where it's like, oh, we have one private, one. Okay. So, and then we have a private second class, and then a private third class, you know? And then a corporal. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, this place is retarded. You know?
Oh, then you have like you have a private second class night shift. Private
Night shift. Yeah, you have different duty stations. You know?
PFC night shift weekend.
Weekend, yeah. PFC night shift Tuesday. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know. This is something I've definitely given some thought. I mean, I'm trying to do whatever I can to stay out of it.
Stay out of what? Going to the office or?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you've done pretty well for yourself in that.
to a point, yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, I think that it actually will have some kind of cap on it. So, where if you do decide that, okay, I'm going to be that person who's just like, okay, I like my own schedule, and I like to, you know, decide my own thing. You know, it's like that slice of the gig economy has like gotten a little bit more professional and a little bit larger, but it's not going to take over the whole fucking thing. So, you know,
Well, yeah, because that ends up being like subcontracting, and that's
yeah, that's bad.
you get enough of that, and then suddenly you have to make rules. And my
Yep.
understanding is companies like Uber and Lyft, didn't they?
Oh man, they got their
Did.
pee-pee whacked again.
Something,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Uber is the one that basically told every medallion holding cabbie in the entire country to fuck off. So,
I think they use those exact words. Yeah.
the guy did use those exact words. Yeah. So, and he says,
Wow.
Well, his whole strategy, I can't remember the guy's name, is Kalanick or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like
But we
that.
want to call him like John Uber, but it's not his
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got Me Too'd because he actually was having like fucking hooker and cocaine parties.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he basically, his growth strategy was like, we're gonna expand to every city so fast that we're gonna outrun all the lawsuits. So,
Wow.
and it worked. So,
Holy.
They're still running.
they're still up and running, man.
Yep. And when they're not delivering passengers, they're delivering
Yeah.
empanadas.
Pizza,
Yeah.
empanadas. Oh yeah. So, have you looked at your ballot?
No.
Oh.
What is that? Oh, okay, no. Okay, you guys
have
can't
it.
fucking tell me then. Never mind.
Well, tell me what you're talking
There's
about.
something going on with DoorDash that's going to be on the state ballot. Have you? What is this?
I don't know.
And like delivery, and then like delivering wine or something like that. So liquor sales. You don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
have no idea.
Okay, all
I
right.
can't.
open
I didn't
it.
know that they could deliver.
They can't. So I think
Oh.
the idea is that they're going to put that on there, but it had something to do with DoorDash, and since we were just talking about Uber, so the other one that's on there that I have heard other people talking about is legalizing weed here in the Springs. So
I've seen
Oh,
commercials.
I've seen tons of commercials. They're like everything. Well, so I still watch like the local.
Oh yeah,
news.
yeah, that's on. Yeah, it's like on.
And so it's
every
just
time.
like 5 political ads, and then one for heating and plumbing. You know. So-
The one I see is, I guess, is the mayor of Colorado Springs. I didn't even know.
John Suthers. Yeah.
I guess so. And he's just like, it's gonna tarnish our reputation with the military. We're gonna increase the homeless and all this kind of
I didn't
stuff.
do any 12, man. All we did was export our homeless to fucking Manitou.
To be fair, they like it better there, I imagine.
They probably like it better there. So,
Probably get far less contempt.
what was it? There was a fire the other night.
What? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that did pop up on my feed.
yeah. The fire trucks managed not to run over someone.
That's right. Yeah, we. What was it? That was the
The homeless
trolley
trolley. The trolley problem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was like, do you choose to run over like 5 dudes with needles in their arms, or one dude who might have a chance?
Right, yeah, exactly. He's almost got it back together, man.
That guy, he's got a dream. He just needs a chance.
Yeah.
He's got an idea. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's probably some other shit on there too. I don't know. Those were the 2 that I saw.
I haven't opened it yet. It's
Yeah, okay.
sitting on my counter.
I got mine in there. So I'll have to go read through that.
Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, I've been getting most of this crap from, like, if you leave location services on Twitter, it'll throw out things every now and then, like, crime.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's what I got a Ring camera for, man. Do you want me to look at that right now and tell you how many lost dogs there are in my fucking neighborhood?
A lot.
So I think the last
Lost
time I
dogs or
checked, it was
cats. Like,
well,
and I'm like, cats, dude, come
the
on.
cats are fucking hilarious because it's like, if there's a black cat in my yard. Whose cat is this? Are you missing a cat? And it's like, it's a fucking cat, man.
Cats outside.
So, yeah, if it wants to come home, it will go home.
Right, and even then to distinguish it, it's like, oh, the black cat? The one with the eyes? That one's mine.
The one with 4 paws. Yeah.
Does he look like he's got mittens? Actually, that's a good point. I wonder if, since I let her out at night, I wonder if the same dog has been reported missing.
I keep watching
Oh
it.
my god.
Dude, I actually zoomed my shit out to include your neighborhood because I'm waiting for his, like, I know that dog. It's like, that dog's cool, leave her alone.
Well, when I get home from work, when he's been inside all day, most of the day and stuff. But I open the front door. I open the door and let her just run back and forth between the houses and stuff. And she'll go up to some of the people's front doors, and I'm just like, do you have a ring?
Of course
Is
they
it going off
In
like
your white ass neighborhood, everybody's got fucking ring cameras, man.
And I'm like, so now I'm trying to train her to stop before she goes to like the doors. So I got a bag of ham and like you taught me like so I got a bag of ham and I just shake it real quick and then say the command to stop, and most of the time she stops, but sometimes she's just like, no, I gotta check out that front door, and she charges all the way up, and I'm like, their Ring doorbell is probably just being like ding dang ding dang ding dang. It's like,
I hate that.
ah, and it's just my dog just being like,
Hey, it's all okay here. Good.
I mean, there are certain things I would like super enjoy if like she like looked in there, checked the ring, and then walked off with their package. Like,
Oh right, yeah.
motherfucker, they got dogs doing this now.
oh man, if you train your dog to do that, oh
Oh,
dude.
that'd be great.
Come on, like even there wouldn't be anything I could do about it. I'd be like, I just have to let it go. I'll tell you, man, when during the great glitter bomb debacle of like 2018,
He's on like
Glitter
5.0. He's still doing
Mark
it.
Rober?
Yeah.
Yeah.
man, I gotta tell you, the debates in the command center were ferocious.
Debates over glitter bombs?
Yeah,
Over the legality of it.
legality, whether it should be legal, whether that's okay, what the question was, it wasn't. So I remember breaking it down to these guys, because I remember somebody sued over a glitter bomb.
Well, I can believe it because some of them opened the package in their car.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah. Those are the funny ones.
that was the one that really threw the guys for a fucking loop, because they were like, one dude actually crashed his car, and I think he injured somebody else, right? Like oncoming traffic, because their glitter bomb blew up in his car, right? And I always made the point, I'm like, there's a reason that glitter bombing should be illegal. They're like, what? No, because this all came from the criminal enterprise of stealing in the first place. Like,
Would you characterize that a little bit more condescendingly next time? That was pretty good.
well, keep in mind, I'm cleaning up their language, so I can only do one. I can either, make a convincing argument, or I can make it sound, legible. But yeah, it was the whole thing. Like, well, yes, I understand, but if you set a booby trap inside this thing, that causes
Yeah.
a wreck, because they're like, well, they wouldn't have wrecked if they didn't steal the thing. I was like, yeah, but they also wouldn't have wrecked if the thing didn't explode with glitter and obstruct their view.
Well, it's a classic. One bad turn doesn't deserve another. What is it?
Two
Two wrongs don't make it
are
right. Thank
Well,
you.
they wouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
a wreck if there wasn't a package there.
Well, that's also part of it. This was the thing. It was like, the one thing that you can control, okay, is that you put a device in there that was designed to hassle somebody, right? Whereas there is recourse if somebody steals your package, right? Like, you call the police, you call Amazon, right? But you don't booby trap it.
Americans love vigilante justice.
They
Well,
they love the fantasy of it, man. But you are poking towards that guy who's like got guns reachable in every room of his house,
yeah.
but he refuses to lock his doors at night.
There was a dude that
So-
got rung up for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and he's just waiting for the day. Some fucking robber is gonna make his fucking day at some point in time.
That dude went to jail for that.
Which one are you talking about?
This was a guy that straight up set up an ambush for intruders.
Was that here in town or?
No, I don't think it was. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We have like a path of gold coins going up to us.
He's candy.
James Woods.
Dude, if you're talking about, like, we joke every now and then about, like, how would you like to go out? But if you're the dude who got fucking blown away because you were chasing bit of honeys into
Honeys, oh my god.
into some dude's house, like, I don't know what they write on your obituary, but yeah, but yeah, this guy, he'd been robbed before. So what he did was, he's like, I'm not having it again when these guys come back. He was literally setting up an ambush. So when they did break in, he fucking took these guys out. And I do believe that guy also got done in by his security system. because that was his way of saying like I'm watching the whole thing, whatever. But he also said something like,
It's time to die, motherfucker.
I kid you not, it was something like that. And that's where they're like, you're not defending the house.
I think I recall that.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
He had like two of them boxed into this like really narrow hallway, and he just boom, boom, just unload. Yeah. Shooting fish. I think I recall what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I don't know where that, because that's where the ambush part comes in, because it was, he left something specifically unlocked to lead them into this fucking spanking box.
With bullets. So yeah.
And this is where I asked the guys, where I was like, all right, so let's take, for example, it's one of your days off, okay? And you're just coming to the front door. You don't know somebody's like gonna jack you, right? But you open the door and you see some dude running off with your package, right? Now, some of the guys I worked with were pretty damn athletic, right? So I said, do you chase him down? And the answer was uniformly yes.
Yeah.
I said, so what happens the moment that you catch him? He said, well, I'm going to beat his ass to a pulp. I said, for a package? He said, well, he stole it from me. I was like, okay, but what you're saying here is the commensurate ass kicking that you give him, right, making you whole? Because in theory, you should be made whole the second that he returns said item to you.
Right.
It's like, that's
this is
where.
But no, I'm on board with yours on this. I've always felt that way too. That there's this dangerous element where it's like, no, it's about vengeance, and I'm the one to dish out justice, here, and that leads to, I don't know, rioting.
It's not necessarily
vandalism. Tear gas.
like all I would want to do is kick his foot as he's running full speed.
Yeah, okay, so you kick his foot as he's running full speed, and he pulls a fucking Saul Goodman and crashes his head into the curb, his brain split out. Okay, right there. And it's on your neighbor's rink can. There's an old lady right there. It's like, oh my God, And then now you got a problem that you didn't need to have because you had a fucking package.
It's not even called pass interference because our feet got
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Yeah, you're free to go, sir.
Oh, well, he's just kind of like, if the ref didn't happen.
Right, yeah.
Well, because at that point, the problem here is to turn around and say, well, it's the recourse. To say, well, if you call Amazon, they'll replace it in a day.
Yeah.
Or the other problem here is, well, somebody stole from me. Well, we have a procedure for that, don't we?
No.
You call the police.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen for a stolen thing.
That's...
So if people actually were to get punished for it, then yes.
Yeah.
But the idea is that the reason that Mark Rober made it is because there's no recourse. You can call the cops and they go, yeah, that happens a billion times a day.
Yes.
Thanks for letting us know. You have a good day. Call Amazon.
Right. And call Amazon is your recourse.
Yeah.
So there is nobody is solving the problem.
Amazon doesn't care about the problem.
Agreed, but
it's just for them. It's just business. Like,
Yes.
okay, we're gonna set up this entire fucking packaging monitoring system, yada yada yada, because your spatulas got stolen. So I was like, no, we're just gonna give you new ones, man. So it was like, we got this thing that's designed to take things from all over the globe and get them to your house in 2 days. So let's just do more of that.
totally get it.
Really fucking good.
But the idea is then that this thievery is acceptable.
I don't know if it's necessarily acceptable, and I think that's where Mark Rober does come in. So, on that one, but like the thing about it is like, okay, so we're gonna vigilante justice this one out. That only works if everybody in the planet fucking chases down someone who's stealing a package.
Correct.
Okay, so even if you manage to catch that one guy, it's not like they report it to the package thieves union that night. They say, "Oh, watch out for William. His street is dangerous for y'all." Like.
But
I believe they call it a guild.
A guild, yeah. It would be
later-
called a guild.
in the later ones that he has done, on some of the ones that have been recorded, you have heard them go,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's one of those packages
but they don't have the reaction that he's looking for. It's like everybody, oh my god, it's one of the packages, and they're like, oh fucking cool, I got one of those packages, you know. And it's like not discouraging the behavior. So if you saw the most recent one where they're like, oh man, it's a glitter, is this a glitter bomb? It's like, oh, that's cool. It's like, that's not the reaction you guys should be having.
But
You know?
are there guys in that neighborhood area that go, I'm not touching a package here because that could be one of them?
That's possible.
In which
yeah,
case,
Yeah.
you did succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, like, really, if package thievery, like, the best thing you can do is actually just have vigilant neighbors. So, like, I live in a cul-de-sac, you live in a cul-de-sac, all right? You know, I've had several times where my neighbor, who I'm not terribly friendly with, but we're pretty cool, if someone comes and drops something off on my porch, and he sees it there, he'll snag it, you know? And it's like, great, thanks, man, you know, and likewise. So, you know, I mean, that's how you actually prevent that shit. You don't prevent it by slide tackling something.
Dive kick.
Yeah, it's just like closing over.
That's the dream.
I know that's the dream, man. That's the dream of every like vigilante type gun owner out there who's just waiting for that one guy to break into my house at 2:00 in the morning.
If you're talking about the intersection of guys that I'm talking about here, that slide tackling to gun ownership would happily also use one of those many weapons they've collected to
absolutely
pick off a moving package thief. There's definitely a correlation.
That is distinctly illegal.
That's a good legal offense, man. That's like Renford in the Most Dangerous Game. It's like, guy takes package, you give him like 25 steps and you say like,
got my Win Mag 3.0, you know.
what'd you get him with? Yeah, it's like a 3.0.
Yeah, it's a
exactly
3.0,
that.
so.
Well, okay, so now of course you're saying that this all stems from the issue of what are the police really going to do for this as a deterrent?
Okay, what if...
It's still wrong, dude.
No. Okay, I have a brand new idea. So you have placemat at your door, and you have a sign up that says Amazon, please put package on mat.
Okay.
And it's got like a pressure sensor. So whenever the package goes on,
This is already... Okay, all right.
all it does is if that package is picked up on a speaker, it goes...
Oh, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's fairly harmless.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought it was going to have, like, punji sticks.
But if it just made that sound, would said thief be like, what?
I don't know, man. I mean, like, if you see actual door footage cam of, like, most of these folks, they're wise to, like, 90% because they actually do this for a living.
There's a lot of Amazon drivers that have been busted.
Oh, yeah. So, well, it's not just Amazon drivers and stuff, but, you know, I mean, they're, like, professional package thieves. They know what's, like...
I guess
you know,
it worked one time.
well, and then you got all the ones that you can see. It's like one lady just like peels into some. Oh my god, that looks like a great package. It looks right in the ring cam, you know, kind of thing. You know, and it's like, yeah, obviously she doesn't give a fuck, you know, about any of this. So, you know,
I've seen people getting caught and they just still walk right back to their car.
yeah. Hey, stop, and they're like, no. So, yeah.
I mean, all right. So, if you're talking about how would we actually prevent this, the question, well, the answer is we'd have to drastically rehaul our police system from bottom up, right? So if I were to break this down and say like, okay, well, why don't we do this in a place with historically low crime? Why don't we do this like the Japanese way?
Are they going to cut off their hands?
No.
Is that not the Japanese way?
No, the way that this works here is like, so for like my street, like going down here.
Oh, I remember you told me this.
There would be like a little like a shop where one cop hangs out.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
You have your local mall cop. So, yeah.
Which I gotta say, I mean, like, I don't have a problem with, but in order to implement that here, how many more cops would we need in this city, Patrick, to even make that feasible?
Oh, thousands.
Especially with suburbs that spread out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have 1,000 cops in this city.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
you know, everybody thinks that there's this like fucking army of cops out there. There's not. So
Oh,
there's 3 police stations in this town.
Really?
yeah. We have
Wow.
over 500,000 people.
We have over 500,000 people
Wow.
at 3 fucking police stations. So yeah.
So when it comes down to it, cops really aren't the deterrent that we think they are. It's
You have to do something really bad before they roll on you hard enough for you know.
Dang, we had 4 cop vehicles for the guy that plowed your fence.
exactly, and you're telling me that in a city could afford 4 cops
Yeah.
for a fence plow, property damage, and a fire truck
Yeah, fire truck. Yeah.
for medical assistance.
That's because the guy was drunk, right?
Well, they didn't know that at the time.
They knew
I
that.
I inferred on the phone
Yeah.
to him.
As per the charges by the district attorney, and I can pull that up here. M, driving under the influence. T2, careless driving. T2, wireless phone text data entry transmission.
Oh, he was on the
Oh.
phone. Okay, that would make a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah, careless texting, driving under the influence.
Yeah, this is yeah.
A combination of.
Well, and it was at like what? It was at like 11 o'clock at night too, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you they assumed it was a DUI. So
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
before
I
you-
talked to him on the phone and said,
they were probably
guy
already
is
rolling
stumbling.
yeah, they were probably rolling 2 cop cars here already. And then when you said that, they were like, you know, I mean, the fire station's right over there. So
Yeah, that's true.
but
yeah.
yeah, no, it's very straightforward in that sense. But like, you know, cops. There was something that I was reading the other day. So you know the murder rate's up. So
Yeah.
it depends on the city and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Most of those are actually due to is domestic violence calls, and cops fucking hate going on these now. So
Absolutely.
yeah, they've gotten worse.
murder
So,
rates on the domestic violence.
on domestic violence calls. So
Wow.
where it's like someone rolls, you know, like the neighbors call, the cops show up, someone winds up dead. So either by cop or by like one of the two.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
way more common than it was like just 10 years ago.
And it's a lot of that is how cops get stabbed and shot
Yes.
on these kind of calls. Yeah.
So, is it a good philosophy to have that if a call is made for domestic violence, that somebody has to go to jail?
I don't know. I don't know if that's still true in Colorado.
It's not.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I know who to ask. So, but I don't think the rule ever was that somebody has to go to jail. I think the rule was that somebody had to leave the premises. So, if
I
I'm not
was told
mistaken.
it was. That
Hey,
could
yeah.
just be the rumor or the
It-
stretch of
yeah.
the story.
Well, whenever someone's involved in
right.
a domestic violence call, you're going to get one very good side of the story.
Yeah, that's true. We may have to file that one under cops have to identify themselves if you ask them if they're a cop.
What?
Do
That's
they?
not true.
Well, of course it's not.
Oh,
true, but that used to this was
But it's been in TV a billion.
Oh,
times.
yeah, that was in Breaking Bad, wasn't it?
I think
been
it might have.
so
It's been. It's
many.
that's a staple that's been around because the classic that used to be the classic prostitution thing was if you're a cop you
yeah.
have to tell me, which of course is absolutely untrue because that would be your first question every time.
Well, yeah, they're wise. That it's like, did you pack that yourself today?
Right. Right.
As if it can get been in your control since you.
Because that would be the first question you ask every single
Right.
time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you'd be like, "Hi, I'm Candy with an I. Are you a policeman?" Because if you don't, it's entrapment, right? That's the thing. Is
And
no,
it's
that's
trapping, yep.
Yeah, I don't know if someone actually has to be arrested, but I think the thing was that someone has to leave the premises. So, I can't remember.
well, it just again, we're not part of that crowd. We don't have.
No.
We don't even really have an anecdotal person.
I do.
Like, do you?
Do you?
Not
Not now.
Eric, but his kid.
Oh, right.
They had an issue with that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Like, how much of an issue?
Like twice the cops were called,
Oh.
and many other times it was like the neighbor pounding on the door saying, quiet it down.
knock it off.
Jesus. Well, you had that couple across from you when you lived in Nebraska.
Oh yeah,
right?
but they were kind of like they were cute. So
Yeah, but-
you know, and they were old too. So you know,
So they had like a flowing handicap thing.
they
going
definitely
on.
had a flow of handicap thing, but they
Yeah.
were distinctly from not England. So
Right.
yeah,
right.
so
They were from
south of the
London,
border.
Mexico, yeah.
London, yeah,
Yeah.
Nueva London, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they would fight, but everybody was kind of like, oh, it's just, I can't even remember their names, but it's just them. Don't worry about it. You know, the cops knew about it and stuff like that. So,
Until there's blood.
well, and that happened. So a couple of times they would hit each other. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you said that she would give it out just as bad.
he would smack him with
Yeah.
like pans and shit. So yeah. And so it was just the way they were. It was kind of like, okay, but it was totally domestic violence, but it was
By any
completely
definition.
consensual.
Right. No, it's not, because Pat, you have to understand that fights have to be sanctioned by the state that they're happening in.
Apparently, yeah, you're right.
That's
it's
the rule.
Maybe the state of Nebraska was
it's-
sanctioning.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So if they have a stamp that says they were approved by the Nebraska Boxing Association, but if I recall, they wouldn't sanction it because you said they were from two different weight classes.
Yeah, kind of. So
He's using weapons. So it
yeah,
kind of
he was
balances the
weaponized.
scale.
Again,
Yeah.
that's why, like, even if you're a welterweight fighting a heavyweight, you can't use a pipe.
Yes, yeah.
That's part of unsanctioned.
They had
Yeah.
different rules. Yeah. So, but no, but I've had like my wife, a couple of her cousins have gone through that. So yeah, where it's like multiple. You know, the cops are familiar with your address, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's like, we know this guy.
Yeah, we know this
Yeah. Him again. Yeah.
See the address.
Or her again.
It's just like,
That does happen too.
Well, look, the statistics. This one got thrown out a long time ago. Wasn't they said how many? This was in the UK. They asked how many males had suffered domestic violence.
It's more than you think.
It was
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah. Yeah. It was more than you think. So.
But the overwhelming majority of it was not reported. This
Well,
was
no,
something
Lord
else.
no, man.
Yeah.
Last thing you do is say, "Oh, my wife kicked the shit out of me." So you know.
It just depends on how you want things to go. I mean, because like you could use that as a guy. Like if you're getting your ass whooped, like that would be a perfect opportunity to report it and find your way out.
You could get out of that so easily though.
Yeah.
So you know, it's something like that. It's a question of whether or not you want to. So, you know,
I
or
know.
would you lose half your stuff?
it's possible, but not always. You know, like.
I
Yeah.
feel like more of that would end up changing the custody of the children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like some of that stuff's a little bit. I don't know, man. Like I've seen those commercials for like the law firms that let
Advocates.
advocates and stuff like that.
I
like-
can't write that out again because we used to.
Did we?
Yeah, because I didn't know that was a thing. You guys
Advocates?
listen to the radio and the TV,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
had never heard that. I think we
I
just.
actually asked the lawyer that I called when I was getting divorced. I was
Ah.
like, "Hey, do you guys know the advocates? I hear them advertising and stuff." And she's just like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, all right. I guess I'm listening to the Denver radio station, so maybe it's a Denver
My
thing."
bad. Yeah. No, there's like one big firm that really specializes in that. Then they add.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But like I don't know, man.
The only ones I remember, I didn't, because I hadn't heard about the Dadvocates. I do remember, what was it, the Law Tigers for guys who ride.
Yeah,
they got a
yeah.
billboard down south, brand new one, man. So
Okay,
they're still
okay.
around.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, guys who ride. So they had a billboard. I think it was the McDivitt actually had a billboard with the guy from Orange County Chopper, the old man. And it was like, how the fuck did you?
You guys know each
It was
other?
like, is there some like B League celebrity thing out there that you can pay into if you're a local lawyer, you know, and get somebody to like advertise for you? Or like, yeah, is this one of those things that's like, oh, he's my cousin, you know, kind of thing. You know, like I don't it was just so it was like that billboard makes no sense. It makes no sense.
So much to the point you're like, I don't think there's permission here. I think
He's being held hostage.
Who's holding who else?
well, you just take a look at like, well, man, those pixels are fucked up, especially since you blew it up so big. No, like the I know that maybe this is how it works for these guys. Like, if you go to like certain conventions, you know this. Like, you can go to certain like celebrities and say, "Hey, can you do a bumper for my show or for my podcast?"
Yeah.
And he'll go out there and say, like, "I'm Ron Perlman, and you're listening to, I don't know, Coffee Before Bed."
Oh God, who would we get to sponsor us, man?
Like, realistically, or who would you like?
No,
to get?
who would you like to get?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry
Whoa.
Seinfeld. That's a good one. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I
got nothing like that.
Seinfeld.
George Costanza.
Way cooler than Seinfeld. There's so
Jason
many.
Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
Well, I'd want him to say that he's Costanza.
Oh, I'm George Costanza. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You're listening to Coffee Before
It
Bed.
seems way more appropriate.
Well, okay, so, but Seinfeld's a bigger name,
Seinfeld's a huge
so
name.
I would go for that. Or, I mean, if you're talking about like going local, you'd be getting like, this is Louisa Graff, and you're listening to.
I don't have a clue who that is.
Like if you could get like hey, I'm Todd Helton, and you're like
Oh,
that'd be
local
pretty cool,
sports.
yeah, like Manning still lives here, right?
Rod Smith does all sorts of wacky.
Rod Smith.
Rod Smith.
is-
Yeah.
He's been like the blackjack.
Carl Mecklenburg. Well, Mecklenburg.
Does
I thought he
Mecklenburg
was
still do
dead.
shit?
He's not dead.
Oh.
No, he does. He does stuff for, I think, like a window company on the radio
Oh.
and stuff. And
Okay.
Rod Smith has his own personal gym equipment or something. Like some
Oh.
company's personal.
I
gym.
thought he
He's
was
a
still.
Denver guys though, man. So.
I don't know how
Yeah, I don't
many
know either.
Guy Sox
Yeah.
people that were gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, there's no such thing.
Right,
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're called.
Oh, dude,
The
'cause-
vibe.
Dan?
The
Oh.
vibes with their fucking flaming marshmallow.
That's right.
Yeah, dude. Because if we're going down this like local route, it's like I'm Frank Azar, and you're listening to.
Yeah, I'm Dennis Vigil. You know.
Because we can't even go
I
to
don't
like
think we
local
could get Frank
government.
Azar, man.
You know who we should get?
Ah,
We should get the girl with the like fucked up corner mouth from KRDO.
oh,
It'd
I know
have
what
to
you're
be a
saying.
news person.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
She's the
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
that's been there for a while.
Yeah,
Yep.
her
Heather
name is-
Skoll.
Heather Skoll.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's probably expensive, man.
For
So.
local.
Yeah. So
It wouldn't be $100 at the comic book show to.
Well, she
I,
got
that's
to
what
the
I think we should
convention
do.
in the
We should
first
just go to
place,
the
man.
comic book show. So
It's like Murr was at one. Did you try
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
hit him up?
No, I mean, like you can go right now. There's a service called Cameo where for like depending on who you're getting, you can go 100 to like $500. They do it online, and you basically ask them what to say. So a lot of people do that for like their answering. Yeah,
oh yeah, we should do that.
we don't have a phone number.
Oh no, we don't have a phone number, nor do we really need one.
No, we don't deserve one.
No, we don't.
Like when we make
To
enough.
handle complaints.
Well, no, like if our channel makes enough money to pay for a landline,
I mean, not burner phones.
Yeah,
Talking
you
about
probably need
fucking-
burner phones.
so what is it? Who are the cheapo companies? Fucking like Simple and
Oh, God.
Cricket.
Cricket, like Boost or
Boost
whatever.
Mobile.
Isn't that Ryan Reynolds?
It is Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that's who we need to get. We need to get Ryan Reynolds. So,
So that'd be good.
yeah, that would be good.
Huh.
So
He'd probably say something funny.
yeah,
We ask him to play it deadpan.
yeah,
Take it seriously.
take it seriously, like
Like a
Walter
joke.
Cronkite. This is the news. Coffee before bed. That's the way it is.
You know what? I think that's a decent enough landing point for us.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Not graceful, but it works.
No, the beginning wasn't terribly graceful either.
Well,
So,
yeah, you were just waking up.
I'm still waking up.
Well, I know. Well, it's just like, so yeah.
Yeah,
We had to warm you up, dude. It's okay.
it's all right.
I'm not putting this on you.
Thanks.
Last show, totally on.
Yeah, last show.
Well, last show.
It was almost fisticuffs.
No, we just
fisticuffs.
no, we just had way too many weeks of like competitive agreement.
Oh,
You know.
gotcha.
We did have quite a bit of competitive agreement. So, but I'm still gonna own my boat shoe role. So, I do belong to the yacht club around here. So
That is who you hang out with.
apparently, that's also who I am, Jeff. So the rest of you fuckers get back to work.
There you go.
All right. I'm Pat.
I will.
Yep.
Hitting the button.
Did you just say yep?